let's not freak out. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. What up, though? It's your girl, Ashante Harrell, and we are back for another episode of It's Ashante. This is officially season 2. How did y'all like season 1? Y'all have to let me know in the comment section below because I'm curious to know. Like, I've had people stop me in the street literally and tell me, oh, I loved it. Like, some of your stuff brought me to tears. I have so many text messages from people, but it's like, can y'all please put it under the video so that I can build my following and get my algorithm rolling? Appreciate that. Now, this season, I'm going to get far more vulnerable than I've ever been, far more honest than I've ever been, and hopefully that's received well. We're going to see. I don't know. Y'all might think I'm a little weird. This episode I am very, very, very excited for because again, we've been decoding words and finding out the actual meaning. So, we're going to unpack that word just a little bit. Are we ready? Let's do it. So, I have never ever resonated with the term God fearing. And for a while, I thought that there was something wrong with me or something wrong with the people around me. I'm like, something's wrong because why aren't we all on the same accord here? And I'm from the hood. So you would drive around, you would see these murals where it says, fear God. And it's like, in my little adolescent mind, I took that kind of literally. I took it so literally to the point where it's like, I'm actually afraid. Now, some people define fear as reverence, right? And I completely understand that. But that is not the type of fear that most of us were taught to actually feel. So we're going to do our Googles. This is my favorite part. We're going to do our Googles and we're going to look up the word fear. So I'm just going to go to Google, fear definition. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Wrong phone, y'all. I got two phones, one for the and one for the. All right, fear definition. Oh, see what I'm saying? Like, why do we be using these words? I feel like we need to unpack that too. All right, so fear is an unpleasant emotion caused by the belief that someone or something is dangerous, likely to cause pain, or a threat. A feeling of anxiety concerning the outcome of something or the safety and well being of someone. Whew. Okay, here's a definition. That kind of fits the whole, seeing both sides of the spectrum when it comes to the fear God term. An archaic definition says a mixed feeling of dread and reverence. And the example they gave, wow, I love this. The example they gave was the love and fear of God. So my thing is this. If it comes to us doing or us unpacking the term fear God, and that definition says um the love and fear of God, can we not replace the word fear with maybe like respect or something? Because the Webster's dictionary definition is still kind of creeping me out. And I feel like when we read and use certain words and we feel certain things, like, does that feel good? And does that feel like something I want to associate with my love and respect for God, the Most High, the Creator? I don't know. Let's unpack it. Okay, so here's my thing, right? So, me personally, I move from love and not fear. Remember how season 1 we talked about being in the proper energy? We talked about heart posture and where things come from energetically, and how some emotions can be exactly the same, but either you're on this end of the spectrum or that end of the spectrum. So with me, by my intentions being pure with God, I want to move out of love because fear almost seemed like it puts me in this performance based conditional type of love or respect, right? I'm going to do this so that I'm not condemned to hell. I'm going to do that so that I'm not punished by God. But why not say I'm going to do this because this is how God will want me to carry myself, right? I'm going to do that because it's simply the right thing to do and it makes me feel good to do right and to help others feel good. It's like with me, I think about love in human form, right? So if I'm showing up for someone that I care about, I'm doing it from love and not from fear of punishment from them or fear of, it doesn't come from a people pleasing, again, fearful heart posture. It comes from a pure heart posture. And I feel like my relationship with God should pretty much feel that same way. Like I should be wanting to do these things out of love and not from fear of something bad happening or me being punished for something. And for the record real quick, I'm also a very gentle parent. Listen, I grew up around some snappers in my family. Okay, we got mouths. And I felt like growing up, I was afraid or fearful of expressing myself sometimes because you just never knew what was gonna come out of some folk mouth. Now that's not to say it was all just rah rah, but like it was a lot of love. Don't get it twisted. But it's just that, I feel like as a result of that, I became a gentle parent. And I believe in my heart that God is a gentle parent. And I say all that to say that it makes you wonder why we're conditioned to fear authority at such a young age. It's almost like most of us are, and this is a generational trauma that I really do feel like we need to break. I don't want my child to be afraid to come to me, whether she's upset, happy, sad, need advice, whatever the case may be. I want my child to be able to walk up to me and say, "Can I talk to you about something?" Whether it's something good or something she's upset about. And I feel like God is the same way. God is like, as long as you don't leave me, as long as you're still coming to me, come to me. And I don't feel like we should be afraid of that. And I feel like when it comes to being raised almost or conditioned almost from a young age to fear authority, that comes with God, parents, the systems. Like, think about it. Think about it. Fear becomes the foundation of obedience. And why can't love and respect be the foundation of obedience? I kind of started to look around, and when it came to religion and authority structures and the media and parenting and all of these things, fear is one of the most effective ways to control behavior when you really think about it. Don't do that or I'm gonna whoop you. Now I'm afraid of getting my butt beat. So therefore, I'm not going to do something. Why not tell me not to do something? Because for one, I may kill myself. For two, I may harm myself. For three, I may kill or harm someone else. Like, why aren't we given actual heart, pure heart posture structures when it comes to why we should or shouldn't? Everything has to be like, do this or else you're condemned. What's going on? Why it gotta be like that? That's all I'm saying. Why it gotta be like that? And I feel like once I started to notice that pattern, honey, I started to see it everywhere. It's like, dang, we kind of are put in this fear-based mentality. It's starting to make me feel like it's like doing this. Is this on purpose? Is this on purpose? Are we taking it there? Are we is it on purpose? Y'all ready for that conversation? Maybe next episode. So, anywho, before I get off track, bottom line is I pretty much want my relationship with God to be um based off of love and trust and alignment, and I don't want it to be based off of like this rebellion. Like, I don't fear God because No, I don't fear God because I want to love God and I want God to love me back. And I want it to be an intentional connection from a pure heart posture rather than a connection that is like, all right, I'm going to do this so that, I don't get my behind handed to me. And here's my thing. I feel like when I shifted my mindset and I started to choose love over fear when it came to my relationship with God, that actually drew me closer to God, not further. It actually made me want to show up better. And, again, heart posture. It came from a pure, loving place. And now I just want to spread love and be love and show love rather than, doing the right thing because I'm scared to go to hell. I kind of want to just do the right thing to do the right thing, you know? Another term I will always hear growing up is God is love, right? So again, logically thinking in my mind as a child or an adolescent or, someone who's wanting to have a relationship with the creator, it's giving, okay, if God is love, then why would fear be the foundation of the relationship? I want a husband that I love, not that I fear. I want to get up, make my man his coffee. If he like coffee, I hope he don't. And his breakfast. And I want to do that out of love. I want to have dinner made because it's out of love. You know what I'm saying? When I make my baby a dinner, it's out of love. It's because I want her to feel good. I want her to be healthy. It's out of love. It's not because, oh, I'm going to fear, my husband being mad and da da da, or I'm going to fear, my daughter not feeling like I'm a good mom or this or that. Like it comes from a genuine, pure heart posture. So I say all this to say, right? I'm not judging anyone on how they perceive their relationship with God. Do what you got to do to be ethical, okay? Do what you got to do, if within reason. Let's not be petty. But you get what I'm saying? Like if you can use the term fear God and it doesn't like disrupt you up in here, go for it. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that love is how I choose to experience God, the creator, the most high, not to be confused with nothing or nobody else. As I grew to, I'm still a very intellectual, like truth seeker, knowledge lover. Like I used to watch nerdy stuff growing up. I know a lot of things about a lot of things, and I feel like that's part of why I never connected with that phrase as a child because again, I was very 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 smart, and so I took the word fear literally, and it's like I'm supposed to be scared. I'm confused, y'all. What do you mean I'm supposed to be scared? What do you mean? And so it's like when people would be like, fear God, for a minute, I was legitimately afraid of God. I was afraid. I was afraid of doing the wrong thing, afraid of being punished, and I was even afraid of things happening to me that I thought were acts of God. You get what I'm saying? It just puts this cloud. It put this cloud over my entire relationship with God. And of course, that didn't feel like love. That was a bit confusing for the umpteenth time. I was confused, lost in the sauce. And again, growing up, you ask a question, is, oh no, you don't question God. You don't do that. But my thing is, nobody ever sat me down and explained to me that fear was supposed to mean respect. But it's like, if fear supposed to mean respect, why not just use the word respect? Why not just do that? Because what, you think you got to put fear in my heart for me to comport myself properly? No, just talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. And by me not having that being explained to me, I internalized the fear as anxiety. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun at all. It didn't feel good at all. And then, you get older, you start thinking for yourself. And I've always been quite the independent thinker child. Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, Bunny Hop, what is it called? The Easter Bunny, all that. I used to be like, child, that don't even make sense. That ain't even logical. But okay, let's go with it because I want my basket and I want my gifts. But again, as you get older, you think for yourself. And since that version of God didn't feel aligned with me, I simply built my relationship off of, actual love and light and presence. You have to almost, well, I literally had to, dismantle and unlearn that fear based relationship, that fear based foundation, and rebuild that with love. It's almost like since my first introduction to God was fear, I learned caution versus relationship. It was put me in a place of, oh my goodness, I am like so afraid of messing up, terrified of messing up. And with that, it started to help me realize that, dang, it kind of, fear is being used to influence behavior on a lot of different levels. You look around and you see, like, dang, folk is out here fearing a lot of things and doing a lot of things out of fear. That don't sound very nervous system regulated to me. Now do it. Going back to season 1, if you need to figure out how to regulate your nervous system, we talked a lot about that. So yeah, that concludes episode 1 in season 2 of It's Ashante. Hopefully we unpacked something today. Hopefully I didn't ruffle too many feathers. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know. Are y'all feeling it or what? Let me know something. Let me know. And if y'all have some other topics that y'all would want me to talk about, let me know. We getting vulnerable this season, y'all. We taking it there this season. We're saying the things that people are afraid to say. So, some of you, I hope I didn't offend. Others of you, I hope you finally feel seen. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.